The Houston Rockets have a very interesting offseason ahead of them. This is a team with the most cap space in the NBA, with a lot of young talent, no coach, and a top 3 pick in the NBA draft potentially. Or they actually have the best tied for the best odds to win Victor Wembanyama. Like I said, they got 2 really good young guards, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., and then they have the last year's number 3 overall pick, Jabari Smith Jr. on the squad as well. So this is a very interesting Rockets team. We're going to be looking at their offseason today and everything I think they should be doing. So make sure to hit the like button and leave me a comment down below if you do enjoy today's video at any point. Now let's go ahead and get started with the offseason outlook for the Houston Rockets. We got our off-season guide coming up here. As I mentioned, they have the number 3 projected overall pick. Now the draft lottery is in about a month, so we will know for sure after that. They also have another top 20 pick via the Los Angeles Clippers. They have about $66 million in cap space, which is insane. Their key free agents are Jalen Green, Alpren Sengun, Garuba, and Josh Christopher, but all of those guys have a team option on them, so we'll talk about that later in the video. Now let's go ahead and get started with the first thing that comes up in the NBA offseason, the NBA draft. Now, who should they get? The first guy here, Scoot Henderson, is a perfect fit for them. I think what you look at the Rockets, what they really need is a point guard, a guy that can control the game. Scoot Henderson, 16.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists per game. He'd be perfect in H-Town. However, he doesn't have the best three-point percentage. 43% from the field, 28% from 3, 1.1 steals. He's already been playing in a pro league, though, at the age of like 18, so you can't blame him for his field goal percentage not being the most efficient in the world. Absolutely a franchise point guard. But I don't think that the Rockets are going to end up getting him. I think, honestly, for some reason, I feel like Detroit will probably get number 1. Maybe not. But, well, I hope the Hornets get number 1 because obviously I'm a Hornets fan. But I'm feeling that the Rockets end up going with the number 4 overall pick here and getting Amin Thompson, 6'7" super athlete out of the Overtime Elite League. The man is absolutely insane. He's a great passer, great defender, and like I said, unlimited athleticism. As you see in that picture right there, at 6'7", he's got the wingspan to guard anybody on the court, 1 through 5. He can do whatever you need him to do, what the Rockets need him to do. Obviously can't shoot that well, but can really pass the ball, which is what they need, a guy that can handle the rock. I think he's going to be a perfect fit in Houston. Now at number 19, I think they go with either Dariq Whitehead or Bryce Sensabaugh, a couple of wing prospects that can score it up, or they can fill it up, really score it. Dariq is the youngest player in this draft class, or one of the youngest. He reclassified to come into Duke. Great physicals, however, injuries kind of lowered his points per game this year, his playing time. He just couldn't stay healthy. But this is a guy at 6'7", 6'8", built like an NFL linebacker, probably because his brother is an NFL linebacker. I think he's going to be a great fit on whatever team drafts him, learn how to play winning basketball at Duke. Now, Bryce Sensabaugh, very efficient scorer. He's also got a great frame on him, about 6'6", 230. So he will fit right in physically into the NBA from the day that he steps foot on the court. So either one of those guys I feel like will be a great pick at just outside the lottery. Now, the team options here, the first one is going to be a no-brainer. Jalen Green, one of the best young guards in the NBA, even though I hate on him a little bit for his shot chucking at times, he's still a very good young guard. Any team will be lucky to have him. Obviously, the Rockets are. Alpren Sengun is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. You're going to accept both of those without a doubt. Both the team options on those guys. Now, Garuba, he hasn't done much, but I'm still going to bring him back because he is a good defender, can rebound it. His per 36 numbers look decent, so we're going to bring him back, except his team option is only like $2.5 million. And then same thing for Josh Christopher, except his only like $2.5 million. Hadn't really showed us anything, but we're going to give him another chance. Now, free agency. This is where some of y'all might get a little upset, but they have $66 million to spend. We're only going to spend about a third of it. We're going to bring Fred VanVleet in on hopefully like a 3-year deal. He averaged about 19.3 points, 7.2 assists. The Raptors have already basically said they're not going to bring him back, so he's going to be hitting the open market, and I think he'd be a great fit in Houston. 40% from the field, 38% from three. Come in and run the backup unit, because obviously you're not going to bench the number 4 overall pick in Amin Thompson. So 37 minutes a game for Fred in Toronto, 4.1 rebounds. He's still going to be our 6th man. He's still going to get a lot of minutes. He's going to mentor Amin Thompson. He's not a franchise point guard, but he will be a good 6th man just due to his limitations physically. Can still be a good defender, and I'm going to really like him coming off the bench in Houston. Now, TJ Warren averaged 7.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 15 minutes a game this year, but this is a steady veteran hand that can come off the bench for you and can do a lot of good things, can help that young core as well. He'll be a very cheap option. Former 20-point-per-game guy on very good efficiency in Indiana, so he's a guy that can do it if you need him to, but I'm going to bring him in more so for like depth purposes, or maybe he comes off the bench as, 9th or 10th man in the rotation. Now, the new coach, obviously Stephen Silas, is gone. Rockets fans, let me know down in the comments below, who do y'all want to be the new head coach of the Houston Rockets? I've seen Ime Udoka thrown out a lot. Also, Kenny Atkinson, traitor for my Charlotte Hornets. Anybody but Silas, basically, will do for this Rockets team. So yeah, make sure to let me know down in the comments below what y'all are thinking about the new coach. Now, let's take a look at the lineup, and this is kind of what I threw together based off my projections for this offseason. So it starts off Amin Thompson at the point guard spot, Jalen Green at the 2, KJ Martin, Jabari Smith Jr., Alpren Sengun. I went KJ Martin at the 3 because I thought he had a really, really good year this year. Jalen Green obviously averaged over 20 a game. Alpren Sengun about 15 and 9 and some good assist numbers. You've seen the vision all throughout the video. Amin Thompson's going to come in, run the offense, and play good defense, take care of the ball, be a facilitator. That's exactly what they need him to do, and he can excel at that. If he doesn't do a good job right off the bat, Fred VanVleet can be the starter. If not, I really like Amin Thompson there. I just don't want to push KPJ into a role that he's not the best at. And then Jabari Smith Jr., I feel like he's going to have a big jump into his 2nd year, so he's going to be playing the power forward spot there alongside Sengun in that front court. He will probably have to do most of the rim protection that's coming from that starting unit. Now the bench, this is what it's looking like. Fred VanVleet, like I said, I think he's going to be a great 6-man role. I think that's the role he's going to have to play next year wherever he goes. Kevin Porter Jr. at the 2. They tried to make him a point guard, did not work out, so he's going to be a shooting guard here in Houston, and I think it's going to be a perfect fit for him. Jae'Sean Tate struggled with injuries this year, but he will be back, and I would like him to come off the bench as the backup 3 next year for Houston. And then my guy Tari Eason at the backup 4. Really good rebounder, can score it a little bit, not really off the dribble much, can't really create for himself, but he can score off of others. And then Usman Garuba at the backup 5. If they don't sign somebody else, we will see what happens there, though. They obviously have a lot of money. Maybe you bring in a different center to play backup center and let Usman continue to develop elsewhere. Now, the others on this team, this includes TJ Warren, Ty Washington, Josh Christopher. Warren, like I said, will be a bench piece. Maybe you play him over Jae'Sean Tate at the backup 3, or maybe you play him over Tari Eason at the backup 4 for some reason. Can't explain that one to you, but he's a depth piece. Ty Washington's a guy I really like coming out of Kentucky, former first-round pick. Another guy that if they don't want to re-sign or if they don't want to bring in Fred VanVleet, he could be a guy that they can bring in and maybe he can develop, or that they've already brought in, they can develop and play that backup too. And then Josh Christopher there as well. He can play the backup too. I meant that Ty can play the backup 1. And then you got either one of these rookies here that you draft, or somebody else, whoever they end up drafting, also could get some minutes off the bench or could spend some time in the G League. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below. It'll really help us out in the YouTube algorithm. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.